Top 10 Most Popular Ghost in Malaysia. If this is your first visit to this channel, please do subscribe. Number 10. The Pontianak, Matianak or Kuntilanak, sometimes shortened to Kunti, is a mythological creature in Malay and Indonesian folklore. It is characterized as a vampiric female ghost. The Pontianak is singular form of Kuntilanak, which is the figure of a woman who died while giving birth to a child or a woman who died from childbirth and the child had not yet been born. A pocong, also known as shroud ghost or hantu guling, is an Indonesian and Malaysian ghost that is said to be the soul of a dead person trapped in its shroud. Known in Indonesia/Malaysia as kain kafan, the shroud is the prescribed length of cloth used in Muslim burials to wrap the body of the dead person. The dead body is covered in white fabric tied over the head, under the feet, and on the neck. According to traditional beliefs, the soul of a dead person will stay on the earth for 40 days after the death. If the ties over the shroud are not released after 40 days, the body is said to jump out from the grave to warn people that the soul needs to be released. After the ties are released, the soul will leave the earth forever. Number 8. Toyol is a type of ghost that is often described as green and as small as the size of a boy. His job, of course, is to steal other people's property. In return, they only want blood from the owner's big toe as food. According to legend, this creature would suck it like a baby breastfeeding its mother. The question is, where did this small but cunning creature come from? It is said that it comes from the spirit of a baby who died at birth. To prevent them from entering your home, people once advised you to place marbles or green beans on every door, window or any place in your home. Number 7. A Lang Su Yawar is a type of vampire which is the ghost of a woman who died while pregnant or giving birth. Lang Su Yawars are different from the Pontianak, which is the ghost of the child who has died at or before birth. They take the form of a beautiful woman, with long black hair that reaches her ankles, although they may also take the form of a floating woman's head, from which entrails and a spinal column hang, thus, similar in appearance to the Penanggalan, although different in nature. Lang Su Yawars have also been described as having incredibly long nails, hands extending down to her feet, and wearing green robes. They prey on humans, preferring the blood of newborn male children, but also consuming newborn female children. Number 6. Pelasit refers to a kind of subtle being, possibly from the group of jinn, devils, who are kept by a person, usually women, for the purpose of harming the enemy. The preservation of these subtle beings is known as perennial. The ghost of the Pelasit is believed to have been fed blood from the fingers of his master. Ghostbusters are said to be able to incarnate as a kind of grasshopper locusts, small locusts that have sharp and tapered heads, and enter the victim's house. This Pelasit will then take the opportunity to attack and suck the victim's blood when the victim is lazy. Pelasit ghosts are said to be kept by women for the purpose of destroying enemies or people hated by their owners. Apart from that, ghosts are also used to earn money. The haunted ghost will attack a victim and only come out when his master comes to help drive him out, thus getting paid for helping to heal the victim. The ghost of Pelasit is usually said to be kept in a small bottle and fed blood drip from the fingertips of its master every time the moon floats. Number 5. Jerangkung refers to a kind finely shaped human being and is kept indoors. Creatures are protected for the protection or destruction of enemies. It is also capable of penetrating until the prey suffers. The practice of witchcraft of heresy is a shirk in Islam. If they insist on nurturing, then they will try to buy or worship to get Jerangkung. In general, Jerangkung will obey their master's orders as long as they are well taken care of. If this fails, the Jerangkung will destroy or suck the blood of its owner's immediate family members. If this ghost is no longer needed, the owner will need to find a replacement master, or send the Jerangkung back to origin place or location, or it will need to be removed, usually shuffling into the river. Number 4. The Penanggal or Penanggalan is a nocturnal vampiric entity of Malay ghost myths. Its name comes from the word tanggal, meaning to remove or take off, because its form is that of a floating disembodied woman's head with its trailing organs still attached. Number 3. Hantu Raya. Hantu refers to ghost in Malay and Raya means great. The Hantu Raya is a strong and dangerous ghost which takes its commands from a human master. Said to be the master of all ghosts, the Hantu Raya is commonly linked to a demon. The Hantu Raya forms a pact with its human owner by providing them power and certain advantages in life, such as acquiring wealth. In return, the owner, or master, must provide for the ghost and ensure it has a new owner before dying. This usually ends up with the Hantu Raya being passed down from generation to generation. When its owner dies without untying its bond with the ghost, the owner will suffer tremendously while dying. The hantu raya will then take on the form of its owner and roam around for food and a new owner. It only does so at night, and it will also haunt you. People who see this will be confused, thinking that the deceased has come back to life. Another story says that if the owner does not untie its bond with the ghost, they will not be able to die at all. They will suffer and become a living corpse, like a zombie. The hantu raya unusually eats a type of offering which contains yellow glutinous rice, eggs, roasted chicken, rice flakes and a doll. They're also seen drinking the blood of a slaughtered animal. The hantu raya can be a tricky one, aside from being dangerous, that is. It will, sometimes, take on the form of its owner, when the owner is still alive, and sleep with the owner's partners. As instructed by its owners, the hantu raya is capable of harming people, possessing, causing death and miscarriages. Number 2. Hantu tinggi, tall ghost, or hantu galai is a being similar to hantu raya or gender you will albeit extremely large, larger than aforementioned beings, so large that its waist to head are covered by clouds. Possessed from a Malay demon. It only exists in the western and eastern regions of Malaysia. In Thailand, hantu tinggi likely resembles a closer myth called Preta. Usually people in West Malaysia consider calling it Bajang tinggi, which means tall demon, or otherwise tinggi puaka in modern culture of Malaysia. In Indonesia and Borneo the common layman term usually would be called Bapak Hantu or Bapak Jin, in which the meaning is demon's dad. Dad in this term of usage is usually meaning to be said bigger than the usual biggest. The sightings can only saw it at waist heights, before it being covered by the clouds. Rare sightings of the head will usually lead to temporary blindness or any eye problems which needs to be healed by specific healers. Number 1. Orang Bunyan are said to have the same body shape as humans. They also have their own families, clans, and community structures. Orang Bunyan live in the wilderness to stay away from human contact. Since elves are similar to humans, it is not surprising that there are stories of them marrying humans in real lives. Elves are also believed to have extraordinary powers known to befriend and help humans, especially shamans. They are said to have kidnapped humans and caused people to stray in the jungle. However, there are also those who dispute it because of the difference between humans, derived from the earth element, and elves, derived from the element of light.